significant each way support for the Deep.
Well, the tactics here will be playing an important part as usual. Mr. Bailey's sure to be up there in the van, and I'd say that'll also apply to King's Theatre. I could see both of those two. King's Theatre probably bowling along, making it. Mr. Bailey's sit in second or third. Couple left to go in, Graham. Fascinating Dante.
Indeed, John, and if King's Theatre doesn't make it, there could be a problem as to who could. Perhaps one of the outsiders might, but then we'll have the problem of the horses dropping back through the field. But that's it. They're set for the homeowners Dante Stakes Group 2 race. Under orders, they're away. Look at that aggression on the face of Mick Kinane, keen to get to the lead. The Deep out wide, a Pencada wide to the wall. It's Way Anchor going on. Way Anchor the leader. Way Anchor by about a length to in second place King's Theatre. They're certainly not hanging about. Mr. Bailey's just running a bit free in third place. The River Deep on the outside of him, and then behind these comes King's Theatre. Pencada on the outside. The back marker is Party Season. The Deep is last but one. The blue colours Erhaab last but two, and they're through the first quarter mile. 7.5 furlongs to go. Michael Hill setting a blistering pace on Way Anchor. River Deep's in second place. Mr. Bailey's and Persian Saint and King's Theatre a line across the track for third, fourth and fifth. Pencada follows that. Then the blue colours Erhaab, the yellow Party Season, the red the Deep, and they come down towards the 6 furlong marker, and still Way Anchor has the field at full stretch. From River Deep in second, then Mr. Bailey's in third, more settled now. King's Theatre in 4, Pencada racing 5. Persian Saints rallying on the outside of Erhaab, and then Party Sighted, and as they pass the 5, the Deep's getting significantly better and significantly closer now as they turn to the top of the home run. 4.5 furlongs to go in the homeowners Dante, and still Way Anchor has it from River Deep. Mr. Bailey's the outside of King's Theatre. Erhaab, then comes Pencada, and look at this Mr. Bailey's, look at his stride. They come down to the 3, still Way Anchor has it. King's Theatre, River Deep, Mr. Bailey's in the yellow and green striped sleeves, and Jason Weaver's taking a tug, and they come down towards the 2. It's Way Anchor, King's Theatre on the inside of Mr. Bailey's. Erhaab in blue getting closer. From the back, the Deep starts to stretch, and now as he goes into unknown distance territory, Mr. Bailey has to go to work, and it's Erhaab that's come through. Erhaab comes to take the homeowners Dante from Way Anchor in second, and it's up for Mr. Bailey's. He's only in third. Erhaab strides 4 clear as they race up towards the line. Erhaab's going to take it. Erhaab has it from Way Anchor. Then comes Mr. Bailey's in third, followed by King's Theatre. A big great break then to Party Season, who beat the Deep and Pencada, and then River Deep and tailed off with Persian Saint and sold 11-2. Erhaab has won it in the colours of Hamdan Al Maktoum, this son of Chief's Crown, bred at the Shadwell Farm, ridden by Willie Carson. And Mr. Bailey's, the third horse home, well, he possibly didn't stay. Perhaps Jason Weaver was a little bit confident with 2 to go, but then when he hit this furlong pole, well, he just didn't have the acceleration of Erhaab, our winner. Second horse home is number 10, Way Anchor, ridden by Michael Hills. What a cracking race this Slip Anchor son has run. But Erhaab has the acceleration. As they came down to the 2, I thought Mr. Bailey's, the horse on the white with the white face there, was going to win a minute. But then Jason Weaver, well, he asked him to go, and he didn't have the acceleration on this lightning fast ground that this Chief's Crown horse Erhaab had, and he's come home in style. Hat-trick for Willie Carson here on Dante Day, and this is a very significant trial. I think all the horses entered in the Derby, and this one must come into the reckoning now.
It just has. Well, an extraordinary Dante this has turned out to be, because you'd have mortgaged your house and had it on Mr. Bailey's as they turn for home here. Way Anchor's run a smashing race here. I'm sure the experience will stand him in good stead for later. He's being challenged by River Deep on the outside, but just look at Mr. Bailey's. Erhaab's just tracking him into the straight. The writing's on the wall for the Deep. But look, Jason Weaver, this horse, the more he takes a pull, the faster he seems to be going, and it was a question with 3 to run just how far this horse is going to win. But whether the race has come a little bit shortly, a little bit too close to the Guineas, or whether he just doesn't get the trip, this horse, but in 2 seconds the whole outlook of the race changed, John.
Yes, the question is asked, and I'm afraid the answer is no. does he stay? It seems to me that he's answered that question in an emphatic negative, whereas Erhaab has done just as he did at Newmarket, really quickened off a fast pace. He had a perfectly clear run this time. I thought that that was the performance of a horse who could quite possibly win